Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project Magnetic Reversal News and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, April 3rd, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. The models are in, and they're showing heavy snow through April. But the big story, coldest open to April in 3 decades. Early snow chances ending. Keep calm. It's boom time. Snow clearing on State Route 20 in the North Cascades begins Monday, which is their fun day. Much needed rain and snow coming to Bozeman, Montana. And how much snow fell April 1st in upstate New York? Well, just a few inches, but inches nonetheless. And we're here at the National Weather Service to actually see how much snow has fallen. Let's look at the last 48 hours. Hours of powers, and it only looks like the Northeast is picking up on the fun. The big winner, chicken dinner, was just 3 or 4 inches up in Maine, 4 or 5 inches up here in New England total. And the biggest totals, 4 inches down here in West Virginia. But more snow is on the way, and we'll get to the models. As we wait for, no thanks, a multiple-day thunderstorm event next week with severe weather possible. This means, well, get ready. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance when it is hurricane season. And this thunderstorm event next week is going to be in the southeast from Kansas City all the way to Jacksonville, straight through the heart of the southeast. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes. And we're going to be watching the models closely. Some more models we should be watching are the record lows broken in the last 24 hours, as well as the record highs. You're looking at the last 24-hour record high temperatures and record low temperatures in North America. And this is what you're experiencing is a grand solar minimum pattern. Two extremes split by a line straight through the center. And it's quite fascinating. A warm Easter Sunday with some fire weather concerns as frost warnings are out for a dozen states in the southeast from West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Heads up, it's going to be chilly. A warm Easter Sunday expected for a large portion of the contiguous U.S. Temperatures will be above average from the southeast to the Great Basin to much of the Midwest and spreading into the east. In fact, a number of record highs are possible. They do not mention the record lows, which we just showed you. Ha! Those frauds. Let's check the models. They're not going to show the record snows in the west either as they occur. But it's looking like a mild pattern as we move forward here. Here's your Sunday. Snow up in BC, moving down into Washington State in the mountains, Idaho, and into Montana by Tuesday. The northern Rockies are going to get it, especially all of Wyoming, at least some flurry activity. And then it's going to go quiet. We have a little bit of activity in upstate Wisconsin and a little bit in Minnesota. Maine is going to be picking up a tippy touch as well. But take a look at how the second phase here, second week of April, going to bring in some heavy snow into Montana, to Wyoming. And it's actually going to dip down here into the southern Rockies as we get pummeled by 4 events in the west through mid-April. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. These events go all the way down through the southern Sierras. Yes, and into Mammoth Lakes in that region. So heads up there. And Europe is not looking any different. We have multiple events in Scotland and England moving forward all the way through mid-April. Heavy snow in the Alps. Heavy snow everywhere. So it's going to be snowing. Millions of gallons of toxic wastewater is being dumped into Tampa Bay, and it's disgusting. They just issued a state of emergency. Governor DeSantis there taking matters into his own hands. Now, this is because it has began leaking. Nearly 480 million gallons of toxic wastewater could end up in Tampa Bay, and it's begun leaking. This comes after a phosphate stack leak from Piney Point has environmental activists worried of the lasting effects here on the Sun Coast. Hello. And the big story, this actually should be the big cutoff, the UAH global temperatures for March 2021 in, thank you, Roy Spencer, 0.01 degrees negative C below baseline. This is the running average since 1979. And we are now falling below the average as predicted on this channel. I went to try to look at the episode where I predicted this. I predicted it in 3 episodes over the last year, and I just couldn't find it. I apologize, but I'm sure many of you out there remember me saying we're going to fall below baseline in winter 2021. It just was about a month late, just a month or 2 late, but we were on point. Now, take this with a grain of salt because climate is variable, so this is going to go back up. It may continue to go down, but it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. It just doesn't keep going up. In this short view, it does keep going up about a half a degree, but that's insignificant in the overall scheme of things. We have dropped 0.4 degrees, just a few months globally. Now, drought conditions continue in the spring, ding, ding, 2021. Over half of the country in some sort of a drought in the U.S., but this pales in comparison to previous droughts. Past mega droughts in Central Europe were longer, more severe, and less warm than modern droughts. So, to add insult to injury, things can change rapidly. Droughts to deluge and deluge to droughts. It is in grand solar minimum patterns that the east coast of the U.S. suffer the most severe droughts, and we don't see any of that yet. So, quickly, this red pattern will shift east at some point. Mark my words. And I don't say that lightly. Seismic update. Fresh boomer. Yeah, on the west coast of Africa, very rare, 5.4 in Namibia. Has to do with some of that East African rift zone. Translating some of that power, hours of power over to Africa. No other quakes of note. It's all quiet on the western front. Icelandic volcano could erupt for years, creating the perfect tourist attraction. And many faux pas on YouTube videos. We'll keep a close eye. Whole country earthquakes over here at Iceland, showing an amazing downtick in tremor, but a large amount of tremor overall. We have the Tjörnes fracture zone to be worried about there. So that is the only area that we should really be worried about. And let me just bring up Iceland geology in just a second here. Here we are at yesterday's update on the eruption of Glendingalda Valley, former valley, on the 2nd April 2021. The lava that is now erupting, as we've reported on almost a week ago, is primitive tholeiitic magma based on chemical analysis from the University of Iceland and coming from a depth at least 20 kilometers. Like a boom to knowledge. I'm sorry I didn't get my video on. Now, we don't even have the right video tonight, so that's kind of lame. Now, Icelanders continue to act like idiots in front of the web cameras that show the eruption online. Both craters are unstable and often suffer collapse and rock slides that often changes. And lava boiling is a common occurrence that often breaks through the newly formed crust. But what we should glean is the eruption taking place in the Kreisvik, Tolignaga volcano system. The eruption has been stable all week and is almost completely filled the Fagradalsfjall Valley. And what does that mean for you and I? Well, it means very little. It's unclear when the lava is going to start flowing out of the valley, but it's going to flow out into more unpopulated areas. So not that scary. And here we are back at the Reykjanes Peninsula, where you can see that uptick has been quieted. However, over here to the east, there is some earthquake activity in the region of those mountains where a large magnitude earthquake could occur in Iceland. So we're keeping a close eye on that together. Fagradalsfjall volcano eruption goes on filling the Glendingalda Valley. Now, the eruption in Glendingalda, now soon 2 weeks old, showing no signs of weakening. Zero. Activity has been building slowly, growing a cone around the 2 active vents in the center, which undergoes constant modifications by the accumulation spatter and smaller and larger collapses. The lava flow continues to fill the valley and might soon start overflowing into one of the adjacent ones. There are even unconfirmed reports that this might have already started to do so. In the meantime, the photo taken on 31 March does beautifully illustrate how the eruption has modified the local topography. And that is a boom. Let's open the image so we can soak it all in. The Glendingaldo Valley is soon not going to be a valley at all. And here's the pinch point where the main flow is going to come out, and the secondary pinch where it will come out a little bit later. So this is the first flow out, and this is days ago. So this is 4 days ago. So this is much higher and probably already flowing out of the valley. Stronger quakes rocked the world's largest volcano today, and we're talking Mauna Loa. Say it ain't so. Continuing a swarm that began on Monday, earthquakes continue to shake and rattle Mauna Loa. I think we have more coverage. I really hope we do. Yes, it's coming right after this. So let me just move this forward a little bit. All right, let's get to it. Hawaii's Volcano National Park, Mauna Loa, is not erupting, but it will soon. Anytime soon. Mauna Loa volcano is not erupting and remains at an advisory alert level. Rates of deformation and seismicity at the summit remain elevated and above long-term background levels. Hello? That means that something's happening, the USGS Hawaii Volcano Observatory said. An earthquake swarm was detected this week in the northwest flank of Mauna Loa. Scientists counted 172 earthquakes in the area from 29 March to 31. That's just 2 days, kids. At about 3.5 to 5 miles beneath the surface, exactly where lava moves around. Scientists noticed a change in tilt coinciding with the event, HVO wrote. So the tiltimeters are going haywire. Scientists say seismometers this week recorded a total of 245 small earthquakes below Mauna Loa. Say it ain't so. Nearly all were less than 3. Gas concentrations of 0 parts per million SO2 and fumarole temperatures below 100 show that the eruption is not imminent, yet building. So that's the data. And lava lake continues to rise in Kilauea's Halamamamumu crater. Halamamamumu. And it's just a few weeks out from being visible from the viewing deck. And that's a lot of lava. Pacaya Volcano, Guatemala, more lava flowing. It continues to reach inhabited areas. The high-level effusive explosive eruption of the volcano continues. The lava continues to effuse from the western eruptive fissure into the west-southwest slope at a high rate. The lava flow has been traveling west again after changing its direction towards the south before it continues to burn the local vegetation and reaches inhabited areas. We do have some maps that we will share with you if I can find them. And there's the Pacaya boom. There's the fresh lava flows within 24 hours coming down. The actual fissure is off to the side, huge lava fields, and it made a rapid turn where there have been drone footage here on 330 showing the lava, and then 331 showing the lava at this position. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. We have a city called El Rodeo, another one called El Caracol, and then we have the big city of El Patrocinio. Now, it's going to hit El Rodeo first and in a short period of time, and our prayers go out to those affected. Asama volcano news and activity updates. Honshu, Japan, volcanic activity alert raised to level 2. Who knew? Well, now you knew, because you know now. Let me just turn that over and get a little bit more Oppenheimer in there. Hello! Oh, shit, I wish I had my Beta Cami on. Peace, people. Let me just turn this off. And we're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow morning over at Magnetic Reversal News. It's around 10 a.m., 10:30. If you join us. Don't say I didn't warn you. What if all the world's supervolcanoes erupted at once? Well, we would all die. Almost 99% of us. But that has never happened before, so that's not going to happen now. There are about 12 supervolcanoes on Earth, each one at least 7 times larger than Mount Tambora, which had the biggest eruption in humans' recorded history. Of all these supervolcanoes erupted at once, they'd likely pour thousands of tons of volcanic ash and toxic gases into the atmosphere. The gas would likely fall back to Earth as acid rain, devastating agriculture and leading to global famine. And the following is a transcript of the video above. And we're going to be doing an expose on this at Magnetic Reversal News in just a minute. So go watch there, and I won't bore you with the details of dead people in volcanic eruptions. You can go see it there. Controversial test flight aimed at cooling the planet was canceled. Yes! Bill Gates got stuck up the... And all the shills over there in Sweden decided to crumble under the pressure. U.S. and European scientists have called off a controversial balloon test flight that was to take place in Sweden's far north in June, part of a disputed solar geoengineering experiment to artificially cool the planet. A team of Harvard scientists has been planning to launch a high-altitude balloon from the Esrange space station in the Swedish town of Kiruna to test whether it could in future carry equipment to release solar radiation reflecting particles into the atmosphere. Dumbest shit ever! The project has been dubbed SOCOPEX, or Dumbass Scientist for short. Mimicking the effect of volcanic eruptions, the project supporters say the technology needs to be studied. Yes, it does. The project, like geoengineering itself, has raised concerns among both scientists and environmentalists who say the technology is dangerous, risky, and not worth it. Critics fear the injection of particles into the stratosphere could damage ozone layer and disrupt ecosystems. If there was actually a covert... Anyway, I'm not even going to get there, but you can do the math yourself. They even canceled a small package of baking soda being deployed in the stratosphere. Isn't that queer? NASA's InSight detects 2 sizable quakes on Mars after other quakes are detected on Mars. That means that Mars is quaking, and you should be baking. Period. Scientists have discovered X-rays coming from Uranus when it's actually just Uranus. So, don't check the mirror, please. Don't do it. X-rays are now coming from Uranus, which we've told you in the past is a star. Just like Neptune, just like Saturn, and just like Jupiter. These gas giants are stars in the off mode. But what we should glean from this is that the X-rays coming from Uranus, not Uranus, are indicative of the magnetic excursion that we're experiencing on Earth. There are magnetic effects now happening on planets within our own solar system. It happened to Pluto a few years back. And now here we are at Uranus. Tragic as it may be. New study discovers ancient meteoric impact over Antarctica 430,000 years ago. Now here's the kicker. I'm showing you the paper now, just released 4 days ago. A large meteoric event over Antarctica, circa 430 kiloyears ago, inferred from chondritic spherules from the Sorondan Mountains. Now, these spherules, well, they are the boom. They're the platter. Can I even get a picture of them? Well, you saw a little X-ray there. But I think this article has the picture of the chondrites. Now, chondritic material are otherwise referred to in a smaller state as microspherules. These are indicative of electric discharge or plasma discharge. It's what you get when electric lightning bolts snap and instantaneously mix whatever's there into these microtectites, microspherules. Any way you want to look at it, it has to be cosmogenic in nature. There is no force or source of electricity like this on Earth. So you need either a rapidly descending asteroid or comet into the surface to create that plasma discharge or that static discharge with the host planet to get this type of stuff. Now, in this case, there's no evidence of an impact crater, not even something like a Carolina Bay, a small depression, something unexplainable. Nothing like a completely circular crater on the moon with another crater in the center of it, also completely unexplainable. But this one has no crater, no impact structure, just a field of microspherules. So they've claimed a new thing here. They just don't want to listen to us that are out in the field looking at petroglyphs that are formed from these plasma discharges and how these possibly could occur. But we will do a complete expose tomorrow night on Magnetic Reversal News on the paper. So stay tuned for that. Join us over on that channel in the morning for a live stream to answer your questions. Innovative or innovative humans thrived in water-rich Kalahari 105,000 years ago. Now, these aren't projectile points or blades or advanced technology they found. They're simply calcite crystals. Now, this is the unique thing here about the paper. Some hominid a bipedal mammal walking around the Kalahari, was collecting these crystals. Now, why I believe the paper and the research is simple, because as a child all the way through an adult, I've been collecting these same crystals as I walk through the desert, and I walk through the woods, and I go through any of my travels around the world, and I'm going rock hounding. I pick up the calcite crystals because they're unique and beautiful and easy to spot. They have a very unique 6120 fracture pattern, and this calcite fracture is seen here. You can see it. It's cubic in nature, so it breaks in these. So if you smash this piece with a hammer, it would break into 1,000,000 pieces, all showing the same fracture pattern. Yeah, and it's called a jointing pattern, which happens on actual chemical bonds within the crystal lattice. Absolutely fascinating. And so, similar to breaking a salt crystal. But here's the unique thing. These hominids, 105,000 years ago, some dude was taking a walk with this chick and was collecting these for her as they walked down the creek. And they found it in context next to a fire at a settlement. So this could be the oldest rock collection known to man, known to science. The first 105,000-year-old rock collection found in the Kalahari. Isn't that awesome? I thought so. Now, mysterious giant craters in Siberia. This headline has been overused and overworked for almost 10 years, as if it's an unknown phenomenon. Are they sinkholes, underground explosions? Are these alien portals where ships fly out of? All right, let's just do a quick geologic analysis of the geomorphology of the surface. All around here, the ground is flat. In the area of this blister, it's swollen. You can see it rise straight up to the blister popping. Surrounding just picture popping a zit on your face. Surrounding it is the pus from the zit in piles. Here's the zit. Here are the piles of pus from the zit, and the earth popped it. Enough said. When you melt tens of meters of permafrost with methane building underneath, you build a methane blister. At some point, there's going to be a weakness, and pop goes the weasel. Ha! Hope you got something out of the video. Because these are not links you should be looking at. Totally top secret. But that is a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance, just like the end of my video. Join us tomorrow on Magnetic Reversal News to discuss anything you want to ask me. I will be live by 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which probably means I will start the live stream 10:15, 10:20 while I'm sipping my coffee. If you have any pressing questions that I haven't answered in previous live streams, please join us at Magnetic Reversal News in the morning for questions and answers. Also, we'll be doing giveaways for Purple Mountain spinach, 2-pound blocks of spinach seed, enough to plant out a few acres. We've already had 2 winners, but they have yet to send me their mailing address. So if you're one of the winners that won our 2-pound mountain spinach giveaway, please email us at oppenheimerranch@gmail.com and leave us your mailing address so we can get those seeds out to you. We appreciate each and every one of you, our one-time donors, our Patreons. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. And be safe. We love you. And that's a boom to knowledge. Click on one of the other boxes to gain more knowledge. And we'll see you tomorrow at the live questions and answers on Magnetic Reversal News. That's a boom.